Witam cię, Brudy. Witam. Cześć. Witam. Dobra, w sumie nie chcę się więcej pisać. To. Dobra, wszystko do wywalenia. Okej. Co tam? Zmordowany człowiek, bo choruję. A tak sobie pomyślałem, że jak kurde chory jestem. A pamiętam, że jak chory byłem, to często gram w Minecrafta. Bo jak się jest chorym, to właśnie na tej gierce jest taki fajny vibik. A przynajmniej ja coś takiego mam. A więc sobie pomyślałem, że odpalę coś w sumie, no w co chciałem od dłuższego czasu sobie pograć. I właśnie będzie Minecraft Create. Znalazłem jakąś paczkę, która ma 50 addonów różnych do tego właśnie moda. Więc jest on naprawdę mocno rozbudowany. A jak wiadomo, to jest mod, na którym wszystko może zrobić, co tylko ci się żywnie podoba. Więc będzie ciekawie. Znaczy, czy długo będę grać coś, to w sumie nie wiem, czy to będzie 1, 2, może 10 streamów, a może więcej. Nie wiem, ale... ale mam ochotę. No, a jak tam u ciebie? Jeszcze tylko muzyczkę mi brakuje do szczęścia, żebym znalazł jakąś fajną. Jak znajdę muzyczkę, to idę grać. Zrobiłem sobie świat testowy i szczerze powiedziawszy, pierwszy świat, który stworzyłem na tej paczce jest tak kozacki. O, może jakaś relaksująca muzyka jeszcze od tego. O kurde, żebym zasnął przed tym komputerem. Daj, poka. Jak to będzie? Minecraft Music Ambience, just relax, everything can wait. Ale ładnie to wygląda, o kurde. No, shadery to muszą być. To jakby z hitu chillująca. Dobra, niech się chwilę zostanie. Nie chcę mi się zapierdzielać. Ja chcę po prostu pograć. Fajnie to wygląda, kurczę. Taki ładny ktoś, kurczę, zrobił tutaj splaszyk. Jeszcze całe to tło. Proste, ale zarazem mega ładne. No właśnie, kurde, zapomniałem sobie krople dać to. Ja. Idę sobie grać. Ciekawe tylko, czy wszystko będzie ładnie działać. Na chwilę kamerkę włączę, żeby tak nawalać tymi oczami. No i mi znowu zatka na skór. Taczki. O! Tak. Player will... Nie, no... Okej. Większy troszkę. No gdzieś taki. Ty, kurde. No nie ga... O, dobra, zajebiście jestem. A, ja okularki mi nie działają. Oj, czekaj, co to jakieś dziwaki takie? Ile to FPS są? 123 FPS. Kurde, chyba trzeba skapować troszeczkę. Ajajaj, kurde, dawno Minecrafcika nie grałem. Zajebisty resp. Kurde, jaki łatwy. Czym ty kurde jesteś? Ładnie to wygląda. Zwykły generator taki ładny to. Oni do tego Minecrafta poddawali, jak mnie tu nie było, kurczę. Co to jest? Loot not generated yet? Loot. Ma kłódkę na sobie. Co jest? Gościu, nie powiedz, skąd mam kurde klucz tam nosić. The pointer speeds up after... Oj. Dobra, nie wiem, czy to nie wybucha. No zostawię to w cholerkę. Co ty chcesz ode mnie, gościu? Universal Sawmill Villager Carpenter Novice. Pochodnie dajesz? 24 pochodnie za emeraldu? Ej, biedny jestem, chłopie, nie mam nic. Dopiero zacząłem grać. Mermiure. Wioska Mermiure. Okej. Kurde, pusto tu macie troszeczkę wreszcie. Jeden bloczek zostaje dla dekoracji. Garnisze pikan. Czekaj. Garniszent pikan, co to jest? Pekan. Tak. Vegetable oil bucket. A zasadzić się to da? Kurde. Właściciele, jakie łóżko macie? O. Super. A, sobie. Oj, goście. No, kurde. No, właśnie, zapomniałem. Otrzym karty. Co to jest? Co to jest? No. Tego nie mam. Dobra. Jabłuszka sobie wezmę cię. W sumie wszystko można z tym wziąć. Zawsze jakiś żarcie będzie z tego. Spoko. Firefly bush, wild carrot. Karotek, nie wiem. Witam, Konrad. Co to za gra? Kurde, nie wiem. Roblox. Nowy tryb. Jak chodziłem, tak pisało, że to jakiś nowy tryb w Robloxie. No witam. A jak wyglądał całkiem spoko, to powiedziałem, że wbiję, czemu nie? No i sobie bijem. Bo to nie Warhammer? A? A, widzisz. Kurwa. Dzięki, że mi powiedziałeś. Oj. Dzięki, że mi powiedziałeś. Właśnie, dzięki, że mi powiedziałeś. Kurczę, kurczaczki. Bo... To mnie nie zmieniłem. Dobra, to jest zmienione na Minecrafciora. Super, super, super. Dziana. No, można sobie chillować. Ja tutaj... Już to mówiłem, ale... Przez to, że człowiek ma schorowane gardło, to nie może za bardzo... Nie mogę aż tak dużo gadać. Więc ogólnie będę sobie muzyczki chillować i odpowiadać. Z komentowaniem to trochę ciężko. Chociaż w sumie tak tragedii taki nie ma. Ale kurde, taki ładny mi się świat trafił. Pierwszy świat, jaki wygenerowałem na tej paczce modów i tak mi się podoba. Piękne. 9 cm? Nie, no może i malutko na dole, ale przynajmniej masz trochę w mózgu. Nie, jest trochę oleju w głowie, więc nie ma tragedii. Już lepiej mieć olej w głowie, aniżeli dużo pałę. No właśnie. Ja z takim IQ to ty, kurczę, nawet 2+2 nie byłbym w stanie obliczyć, a teraz? Teraz to jakbyś poszedł pisać referat, kurczę, o promieniowaniu pozaświatowym, kosmicznym, no to od razu byś wszystko napisał. Bo musiałoby się chcieć. Bo by się chciał. Nie, to ja 200 IQ, z tego co pamiętam, to mijałem już, chociaż jest to ciężkie. Najciężej to 50 cm. Nie, tutaj to akurat wielokrotnie miałem to, ale 200 IQ to chyba z raz, albo dwa, albo trzy, tak? To 190, 160, 100, 130, 140. I tak, tak. Jest jeszcze katar tutaj, kurde. Witam, Olek. Witam, witam. Ach, pierdolę. O, no powiem tak, lepsze 1 aniżeli 0. Chłop, co się swoje koleżanki zamienia. Widzisz, tak to jest, jak za dużo z tą Tosią i z innymi przebywasz. Sam zaczynasz się przepoczwarzać. Ja zaczynam zamieniać się w kobietę. Znaczy, no w twoim przypadku to jak na razie w dziewczynę, o. Może tak. Ale no, zaczynasz się, kurde, przemieniać. I to, kurwa, nie jest dobra strona. No. Oj, nie jest, nie jest. Ta, no live normalnie. Uff. No live to jest, kurde, ciekawa persona w tym polskim internecie. Chłop zaczynał od nagrywania Minecrafta, robienia fajnego contentu, a skończył na zmianie płci, żeby ostatecznie pokazywać dzieciom 10-letnim na OnlyFansie. XD. Ciekawe, w sumie, czego ludzie nie zrobią, żeby zarobić chociaż troszkę pieniędzy? Nie, to jest, kurde, to jest mocne. Czemu dziś jest 290 stopni na polu? Nie wiem, ja w pokoju miałem 23 stopnie dzisiaj. Więc nie ma tragedii, ale no jak będzie 30 stopni na polu, to ja pierdzielę. To się zacznie, kurde, prawdziwy pogrom. Nienawidzę. Nienawidzę tylu stopni. Ja tak strasznie... Ja lubię jak jest ciepło, ale nie jak jest ukrop. No... Ukrop to jest, kurde, najgorsza rzecz. Oho. Zimno się robi, kurde. Idę spać. Dzisiaj 40 km zrobiłeś na rowerze, to ładnie. Bardzo ładnie. Będziesz mieć, kurde, nóżki jak sarynka. U ciebie dziś było z 28, 25 to stopni to spoko jest, powyżej 30 już nie? Nie no, powyżej 30 już nie. 25 jakby było w ciągu roku tyle, to byłoby git. Ale nie więcej. Ja sobie nie jestem w stanie wyobrazić, jak ci ludzie w Egipcie żyją. No. Ja... Ty, właśnie, czekaj. Teraz do mnie doszło. Czekaj, czyżby jeden mod nie działa? Nie, czekaj, co ja gadam? Jakby nie działało, to by nie było wybierania na początku. Kurde, czyli ta wioska mi się trochę zepsuła. No dobra, ciul. Trzeba będzie znaleźć albo nową, albo może się... No może nowi NPC-ci będą troszeczkę inaczej wyglądać. Chociaż jeszcze sprawdzić mogę. Imi Monster zahamował przypadkiem przed kołem. Czekaj, Imi Monster zahamował przypadkiem przed kołem? Tak, kurwa, kutasem, okierem, wróciłem, to okazało się, że... Trochę... O kurde, oj. To niedobrze. A krew ci nie leciała? Bo kurde, no, tamte akurat dolnej części ciała lepiej na nie uważać. Tam jest tyle żył i tyle tego wszystkiego. Ja pierdzielę. Kurwa. Weź, tragedia. Widziałeś nowość Minecraft, którą mają dodać za niedługo w pełni? Z tego co wiem, to darmowe serwery mają być. Jakieś nowe cave'y siarkowe i jakieś gluty, kurde, nowe. Czy coś takiego. Kurde, źle wybrałem. Kurwa, co jest? A, bo ja wybrałem tego, dobra. Cool. Z tym aktualnie. Ja chcę tylko zobaczyć ten gluty z nosa. Nie, gluty siarkowe. Ja, z tego biomu cave'owego mają jakieś gluty dojść. I te gluty będą mogły połykać bloki. Na przykład glut będzie mógł połknąć TNT i nie wiem co, czy to będzie jakiś nowy sposób na rajdowanie baz, czy coś, ale... Ale wiem, że ludzie już jakieś dziwne rzeczy z tym robią. Ty, to nie jest normalny generator świata, co to jest? Bions of Plenty? Nie. Ciekawe, co to jest za generator świata. Nie wiem. Nie wiem, trochę laguje, kurde, ta paczka. O dziwo. Ale ja nie wiem, czy to przez to, że... Czy ja nie przesadziłem z ramem, bo mam 16 ramu przypisane. No, nie wiem, czy nie powinienem zmniejszyć ramu do 12, bo też jak jest za dużo ramu dajesz, to jest źle. Co za paczka? Create. Create jest związana głównie. O, czekaj. Jest, czy działa to? Czyli tamte moje NPC-ty są pobugowane. W sensie pobugowane. Przez to, że została wioska wygenerowana przed dodaniem tego moda, to NPC-ty są zwykłe. Kurde, szkoda. Szkoda. Ale może nowe NPC-ty, które się urodzą, będą już tymi NPC-tami z Minecraft Console Live. Ciekawe, czy Vulkan Mod by ruszył na tej paczce? Nie wiem, tutaj masz nazwę. World of Gears. To jest nazwa tej paczki. Ona ma 50 ponad addonów z Create'em. Więc jest w porządku. Trochę tego tutaj jest. Właśnie, kurde, nie spojrzałem, ale czy tutaj jest opcja zrobienia create'owego, kurde, zasilania energetycznego? To jest to. Oczywiście sam musiałem parę modów dodać. Inaczej. Dobra, ty idziesz w ciul. Let's go. Dobra. Powodzonka w takim razie. Się umyj, kurczę, żebyś nie capił. Oj, takie mycie się to jest zajebisty reset. Jeszcze w zimnej wodzie to już w ogóle. Trzeba mieć psychę co prawda, żeby się myć w zimnej wodzie, ale jak się człowiek myje w zimnej wodzie, to jest mu tak fajnie. Jeszcze no, w zimnej wodzie umyć się i tak po pół godziny i spać. O kurde, fajna sprawa. I w takiej cieplej kolderce. Waszek jest gorący. Nie. Oj, o. Dobra. Ewidentnie trzeba zmniejszyć ramę. Aha. 16 ramu jest niepotrzebne. Za dużo ramu przypisałem. Do tej paczki. Znaczy w sumie nawet nie do tej paczki, tylko do Curseforge'a. Ale ona jest na Neoforge'a. Ma tam jakieś dodatki, jeżeli chodzi o wspomaganie renderingu, ale nie. Ja też nie, ale gościu używał. Nie, gościu zrobił na tym paczkę i czy to dobre, czy to nie, to... Nie wiem, moja paczka ma 3, w sensie ta paczka, na której gram, ma 303 mody. Z tymi, które ja dodałem. Nie, za dużo ramu. Za dużo ramu. Vulkan moda nie ma na Neoforge'u. Najlepszy jest aktualnie chyba Sodium. Tylko że Sodium jest na fabryku głównie. Jest Sodium i Embedium. Embedium jest chyba na Forge'u albo na Neoforge'u. A Sodium jest chyba tylko i wyłącznie na fabryku. W sumie nawet sprawdzę. Open deal na Vulkana. A Vulkan to nie jest to coś, to gubienko nowe, które ma być na Minecraft Bedrocku? Co wchodzi na Minecraft Bedrocku? Wykręcił na te ponad 1000 FPS-ów? A to ja mam to gdzieś, ile będę mieć FPS-ów, żeby po prostu mi nie lagowało. Myślę, żeby było płynnie, o. Ty, bez kitu, Embedium jest na Neoforge'a. Forge'a i fabryka. A czekaj. A jeżeli tu nie ma Embedium, to mógłbym, kurde, spróbować dodać. W sumie i od razu bym może był fajny skok FPS-ków, tak żeby były stabilne FPS-y, bo to czy tam będzie 200 czy 300. Ty, nie ma Embedium, dobra. Wait, to ja sobie pobiorę Embedium. Aha, 12 milionów pobrań na Neoforge'a. Ja, wywal mi to. No? Nie ma. Nie ma na tej paczce Embedium. Dobra. Wrzuciłem Embedium i zobaczę, jak sytuacja będzie wyglądać. Tak, continue. Ale ogólnie wulkan jest bardziej pod FPS-y, więcej stabilnych. No bo ty mówiłeś, że ten wulkan że to jest nowy silnik, który będzie w Minecrafcie. Od tych najnowszych wersji, czyli 1.26 i tak dalej. I w sumie dobrze, bo jeżeli na Bedrocku wprowadzają już shadery do gry, tak do zwykłego Minecrafta shadery, no to dobrze, bo aktualnie ten silnik jaki jest, bo jest Minecraft na jawie, jest przestarzały i przez to, kurczę, strasznie laguje Minecraft. No, Minecraft giga laguje. Akurat. To już jest w snapshotach dostępnych, ale działa to gorzej niż Vulkan Mod, ale lepiej od OpenGL-a. O kurwa. Już wiem, dlaczego Embedium nie ma na tej paczce. No. Okej. To nieważne, Embedium idzie do kosza. A Sodium? Ty, Sodium jest na Neoforge'a. O kurde. No tu nie ma Sodium w takim razie? Jest tu Sodium. Jest Sodium na tej paczce. No to nic, to ja już nic nie dodaję. Niech tam sobie kurde jest jak jest. Ja tam nic nie dodaję. Więc niby możesz sprawdzić, jak to działa na subplotach, ale no, modów pod to praktycznie nie ma. Wiesz co, trzeba czekać, to jeżeli ja tam się aż tak tym nie interesuję, zwłaszcza tym wulkanem i tymi nowymi wersjami Minecrafta, bo mnie tam... Znaczy fajnie sobie grać na nowszej wersji Minecrafta, na tej 1.27 chyba dodali te Pale Woodsy. Nie wiem co zostało dodane na 1.22, chociaż... Może to są te kurcze włócznie i to, że teraz mogą jeździć na tych wielbłądach i koniach zombiaki? Kurde, nie wiem, ale aż tak mnie to nie interesuje. Dopóki jest paczka na 1.21, to fajnie, że jest na nowszą wersję, ale jakoś tak mega mocno parcie na te najnowsze wersje to nie mam. No, że po prostu się fajnie grało. A jak jest możliwość dodania sodium, w sumie już w tej paczce jest sodium, no to wszystko powinno ładnie działać. Tylko, że coś czasami kurde przylaguje, nie wiem. Może tak jak mówię, może to jest problem z tym, że za dużo kurczę, za dużo ramu przypisane. Teraz jest 12 GB i zaraz zobaczę co jak. Minusotka. No, a wulkanik dopiero będzie wprowadzany. Jeżeli to faktycznie będzie aż taki przełom, jeżeli chodzi o mody i o wszystko, i Minecrafta, to na pewno go ludzie będą używać. Że ludzie że dla performance'u to szukają wszystkiego, dlatego dla performance'u został stworzony Embedium, Sodium i to wszystkie inne te mody. Jest to tylko naprawdę kwestia czasu, aż powstanie coś takiego właśnie jak ten zboostowany wulkan. Co za papuszka na moim ramieniu. Okej. Że może bez hitu render zwiększyć kopę. Nie. Ładuj się Minecraft, ładuj, ładuj, ładuj. No kurde, syfście. I co to było? Okej. Czyli tak, gadki mam, hełmik i buciory. Daj mi 4 armora, 2 armora i 2 armora. Kurde. Jak Fox wygląda w tej zbroi. No. Jakie tarczy się teraz, tarczy da radę z tego zrobić. Tak, tak. No. Okej. W sumie... Dobra, niech będzie unlimited, po prostu pals. Zobaczy. Not lock garnished. Sadzonki, sadzonki. Walnut. Kurde ty, ale... Sadzonka? Nie, co ty gadasz? Kurde, ile tego tu jest. Ale bez kitu, dostaje się zwykłą sadzonkę z tego. No trochę do dupy, no ale... No ale co zrobisz? Wypadałoby pomyśleć, gdzie tu się w ogóle ma człowiek kurde osiedlić. No właśnie. No właśnie, no właśnie, to jest ta fajna wioska w samym centrum i fajnie byłoby tą wioskę jakoś rozbudować w przyszłości, żeby tych NPC-ów tu więcej było. Bo jest naprawdę mega, mega uboga. Więc jak miałbym się gdzieś osiedlać, to kurczę pewnie gdzieś w tą stronę. Jak wybrałem manualnie, to zadziałało. Na przykład tak średnio działają, bo odpalają się, potem crashują. Kurde. Są lagi tej paczki na streamie, czy tylko ja mam takie kurcze lagi na podglądzie? Bo ja normalnie gram, ale nie wiem, czy na podglądzie kurczę nie ma stołu. Za jakie paki? Może teraz nie będzie. Czemu ta siarka wygląda jak slime po 10 latach w Rosji? O, widzę, że sobie sprawdzasz update. No tak sobie kurczę twórcy zrobili, ale... Nie, no dla mnie w sumie nie jest zła ta siarka. Nie, ciekawie to dosyć wygląda, ale... Myślę, że jest 100 000 różnych innych fajnych rzeczy, które można byłoby do Minecrafta dodać. No, ale to wiadomo. Nie wszystkim dogodzisz. Mi też nie dogodzą, więc jest jak jest. Ja mam na szczęście mody. Nie, ja lubię mody. Jest dużo osób, które nie lubi modów. Ale ja na szczęście mody lubię. Kurde, jest przeciążone kodowanie. Jeśli na to patrzę, to procesor mi kurczę nie wyrabia przy tym Minecrafcie. No, mam 100% zużycia procesora. Nie, czyli to wina po prostu procka. Tak, kurde, bym miał CPU wymienić, to musiałbym całą kartę całą płytę główną wymienić. Opie, hajsu na to nie mam. Muszę się takie rzeczy bawić. Nie, musiałem sobie kurczę płytę główną i wszystko podmienić, to okej. Jakie mam niby? Ja mam tam i piątkę, czy tam i siódemkę, 9660K? Coś takiego? No coś w tym stylu. Jak to będzie wyglądać? Stara dobra mgiełka, ale przynajmniej teraz nie laguje. Nie no dobra. Nie będę grać. Mniejsze sobie tak do 8. To też. To też. Okej, apply. Może przynajmniej ciutkę lepiej będzie, może nie będzie lagować teraz. Jest git. Aha. Okej. Teraz jest git. O kurwa. Dobra, pokaż mi tą mapę. A tu konie są. Tutaj coś jest. W sumie też tutaj, czekaj. Nie klej mu. Kurczę. Zanim pójdę w tą stronę, to ja idę zobaczyć, co to jest tam daleko. To wygląda jak jakieś obozowiska, czy... Nie, to jakieś obozowiska. I zamek, czy coś takiego? Albo gdzieś w ogóle tereny wszystko już okupowane, więc to zobaczę. No to nie ma sensu mieć CPU zbytnio. No, po prostu te nowsze wersje Minecrafta są niestabilne. Minecraft na tych nowszych wersjach jest totalnie poprzedniony. Znaczy oczywiście no mój komp też nie domaga w wielu kwestiach. Tutaj trzeba sobie już powiedzieć normalnie. Ale no... Żeby cokolwiek zrobić, to musimy całą płytę główną wymienić i wszystko. A to jest za duży koszt, to jest koszt ponad 1000 zł, a... Nie mam na tyle, żeby się bawić w takie rzeczy. To nie tylko w Minecraft, bo w innych grach już powoli też? Nie. Ale... Ja nie gram w gry aż tak nowe, które wymagałyby mocno procka, żeby aż taki nacisk na to brać. Więc akurat tyle dobrego. Ja nie zamierzam grać w jakiś GTA 5 albo... w sensie... o kur... A dobra, tutaj to mnie akurat laguje. Ja nie zamierzam grać w jakieś GTA 6 czy coś takiego, więc... Wolone. Oj. Dobra, to jest akurat to są ode mnie lagi, bo mi całego Minecrafta laguje, kurde, jak łażę po tych terenach. Co to kurczę jest? Czekaj, kurczę no. Sodium. A, bo to... A sodium... A nie, to... Właśnie, quality, color space, graphic... Fast... Off... Okej. Do 5000 może czy coś? Nie, to nie jest z tego wina, to jest wina procka. Minecraft mi zużywa 80% procesora, kurwa. Ty a może to ta paczka nie jest kurwa zoptymalizowana zbyt dobrze? Nie wiem, nie wiem. Na innych paczkach aż takiego czegoś... Nie no, na paczce, na której grałem to co miała 500 modów, to nawet tak nie reagowało. Kurwa, co jest? Nie. Wow. Okej. Czyli to jest jakaś wielgachna wieża, kurde, illagerów. A to wolone w tych... Byłeś jak na razie. A co to jest tutaj? To jest jakaś mini wioska? Kodowanie przeciążone. No właśnie wiem, że kodowanie przeciążone. Kurde, najlepsze serio nawet... A ta paczka z 5... Ona miała wersję Minecrafta... 1.21. Nie, znaczy nie 1.21, tylko 1.20.1. No i chodziła normalnie. Co to jest? To dziwne. Żebyś wiedział, że dziwne. Chociaż melony bym jeszcze wziął. Tak? Wioski tu nie ma, nic tu nie ma. Ja po prostu nie rozumiem, czemu jest takie enkodowanie przejebane, że... Nie wiem czemu ja mam 80% zużycia procesora na Minecrafcie, kurczę. No więc to jest albo wina modów, że są jakieś... albo paczka źle zoptymalizowana, albo coś innego, bo to nie jest tak, że wszystko jest przez streama, tylko mi po prostu laguje. Mi jak gram. Chyba create mod, tylko że kurde jeszcze nawet na tej create nic nie zrobiłem. Kurwa. No. O! I tu jest druga wiocha, ty! A dobra, idę pierwszy tutaj zobaczyć co jak. You feel like something is chasing you. Niby mógłbym ja sprawdzić paczkę, ale nie wiem czy jest sens. A nie wiem. Nie no, ty masz chyba lepszą kompa ode mnie. Jeżeli się nie mylę. No, ale chyba masz lepszą, więc tu akurat nie wiem jak chcę i gdzie. This must be a sign. Na razie z tego co widzę to nie ma 100%, więc nie powinno lagować. Co to jest? O kurde. Ty, ale fajnie to wygląda. To są tego. To jest jakiś mini posterunek. Mini posterunek i tutaj jest... Ten mob miał zostać dodany do Minecrafta i to jest jakaś kopalnia. Deep Slate Waystone. O lol. Sneak Stall, a major trial of strength. Kurde, co to jest? A to? Wiem. Czekaj, chcę popatrzeć co to jest. Decorate loot pot. Dobra, kurde. No już se idę, no. Już. Coś tu kurde mają gnajki. No dobra. Tak samo tutaj, kurde, ile tu tego jest. O cholera. Ej! Będę. Chociaż tutaj też A to jest chyba to zejście do dungeonu, jeżeli się nie mylę. Dobra. I tutaj za tym jest wioska NPC-ów i tam już są NPC-ki z Minecraft Comes Alive. Super. Idę sobie popatrzeć, czy się tam faktycznie zrespili, czy nie. Tak. Kurde, to mnie ciekawi. Ile tam musi być rzeczy w środku? 60 FPS, tak? A czekaj. Trzeba próbować dopóki... Może to próbuję. No ogólnie mam 150 FPS na tej parce. Dziwne to trochę. O, no właśnie i są takie... A to teren się generuje, ale są takie... Dobra. Witam. Nie, tak? Ty to... Nie, to nie jest normalna wioska. Tak. No. Tego co mi się wydaje, to tak. Performance. W sumie tutaj jeszcze mogę zobaczyć. A właśnie, jeszcze są shadery. Dawaj, kurde, shadery. Dawaj, malina, kurde, jak już podkręcisz to już na fulla tego Minecrafta. Prawda, prawda, prawda. O, no i teraz już może sobie komputer naczekać na 100% procesora. O kurwa. Ale strasznie jaskrawe te shadery, takie kurde nie najlepsze te shadery, szczerze powiedziawszy. Ja gram na innych unboundach i w porównaniu do tych w sensie nie są złe, ale strasznie oczojebne są te shadery. Trzeba będzie jakieś inne shadery wgrać. Nie, te są słabe. Nie, te shadery są słabe akurat. Wolę grać na zwykłym Minecrafcie. Witam! O kurde! On nie potrafi drzwi otwierać? Chyba nie. Skubańce! To jest wioska pillagerów. Ja mam wioskę villagerów i mam wioskę pillagerów z zamkiem obok. No pana to. I oni wszyscy zbroje mają i tu jest w ogóle z create'a zrobiony calusieńki młyn. I te gnojki mają kusze z fajerwerkami. Pierdzielenie oszuści. Dobra. Goście. Witam, witam. Wypuszczam was. Naróbcie trochę hałasu. No koledzy. Jesteście w końcu wolni. Możecie robić co tam chcecie. A tu wypadałoby przyjść kiedyś, jak będę mieć mocny ekwipunek. Mów sobie pogram sobie na tej paczce. No troszkę lagrzy w niektórych momentach, ale myślę, że to po prostu kwestia czasu. Nie, bo ogólnie FPS-ów ma człowiek dosyć sporo. Ale cały czas raczej nie laguje. To pewnie tylko laguje jak się chodzi po nowych terenach. Się świat generuje. Więc no. Co to? Co to kurde za jakieś gówienko małe? Okej. Ktoś sobie kurde jakąś kanciapę zrobił, żeby przeżyć pierwszą noc. Dobra, ja idę się dalej zastanawiać, gdzie ja się powinienem osiedlić. Na pewno koło wioski, ale gdzie dokładnie? Gdzie dokładnie? No kurde no. Koło wioski pillagerów jest zwykła wioska. Idę odwiedzić. Ja faktycznie coś widziałem, ale kurde się na złe spojrzałem. Nie. Jest po prawej stronie w ogóle licznik FPS. O. Nowe rzeczy odkrywasz? Może sobie podkręcić ramy. Kurwa. Nie, czekaj, pokaż, aż sobie to muszę na YouTube sam zobaczyć. Może sobie z poziomu Windowsa ramy podkręcać. Okej. I to w sumie bez kitu ciekawe. Są ludzie, co sobie podkręcają procesory, ramy, wszystko inne. Nie, są. No okej. Ja wolę nie podkręcać, bo szlak wie, ile to pożyje. Ale są ludzie, co się lubią takim przybawić. Ja właśnie nie jestem pewien, czy ja też nie powinienem procesora, kurde, podkręcić. Oj tak. Ty, są lagi, ale to takie naprawdę mało widoczne. W sensie inaczej, nie są to lagi, które was powinny denerwować. Jak już to mnie bardziej powinny, ale jak się na to patrzę, no. To bardziej jakoś, jak się tak na to patrzy, to aż tak mocno nie bolą w oczy na streamie. Ale masz spoko chłodzenie? No, akurat chłodzenie mam. Jest w porządku, chociaż pamiętam, jak raz miałem coś takiego, że mi się chłodzenie nagle wywaliło w kompie. Ja, i w ogóle mi wiatraki nie działały. O! Ty, kurde, ile tu jest wiosek? To jest znowu coś. Nice. Ja, ale pamiętam właśnie, że mi się wiatraki totalnie wywaliły. Witam. No chodzą villagerzy, chodzą. Ja, są gardzi. Są te jakieś inne domki i widziałem... Jest jakaś laseczka. Rajza. Kurde. Ciekawe. Witam Sebelet, witam. Dorel. Jak ty kurde robisz temu biednemu strachowi na próbie? Jakaś Elenat Barrel Golem. Kurde, jest taki fajny mod, co prawy przycisk naciśniesz i możesz przynosić ludzi. Trade. Co? 4 drewna za jednego emeralda? Czym ty jesteś? Carpenter. Kurde, Carpenter OP. O lol. O kurde, i kogo my tu mamy? O, to się rozpłakał. Pumpkin Spirit, czekaj, ty zły nie jesteś. Ja, on zły nie jest w porównaniu do jego kumpla. Jego chyba nawet można mieć, kurde, u siebie w chałupie, tylko nie pamiętam, co się z nim do końca robi. Ja bym brał taką okazję. Spokojnie. Jeszcze laseczkę to się znajdzie jakąś. W ogóle może mi nawet dzieci w tym Minecrafcie. Też laska. A to jest Rajza. Ona przecież wtedy tak nie wyglądała. Co jest? Ona nagle się uzbroiła? Nie mogę jeszcze spać, dobra. Czyli tak, to jest wioska, jakiś Sacred Spirit, tu jest jeszcze coś. Jeszcze tam bym chciał wdepnąć, zobaczyć co tam się kurde odwala. No. Tak zrobię, popłynę. Zobaczyć co to kurde jest tam daleko. Mogę? Dzięki. Ile to masz modów? No mało, tylko 300. No. Nie, mało. Nie jakoś dziwnie laguje. Trochę mi się to nie podoba, ale mówię, odkrywam nowe tereny, więc pewnie też dlatego. Bo coś mi to kurde nie wygląda zwykłą wioską. Bardziej obstawiam, że to jest znowu jakaś kurde wioska pillagerów. A tam, oj, z pillagerami to ja się kurde za bardzo nie lubię. O. I w sumie, to jest po drugiej stronie, więc to i tak trzeba będzie przepłynąć. O. To nie jest zwykła to nie jest pillagerów, ani to nie jest villagerów. To nie jest opuszczona wioska? Wiem, co to jest za wioska. Czy to nie jest czasem wioska z Mine Colonies? Czy to jest wioska, którą mogę odbudować i zrobić tutaj swoje własne imperium? No oczywiście, Mine Colonies! Ja, czyli tutaj mógłbym zbudować swoje własne imperium w tym miejscu. Odbudować to wszystko i postawić swoją własną wioskę. No, wypadałoby mieć dosyć dużo terenów pod budowę takiej wiochy, to jest fakt. Jest tu pełno wszystkiego. This building... Czekaj, a mogę to zniszczyć po prostu? Oj. Czyli tutaj mniej więcej wszystko mam postawione. Tylko musiałbym warehouse'a postawić i spróbować to jako tak odbudować. Kurde, ciekawe to jest. To jest chyba wieża pillagerów. No ja się tutaj zrespiłem. Pierdzielisz. A, to jest kolejna wioska NPC-ów. Nie, tutaj chciałem początkowo mieszkać. W sumie tu można byłoby mieszkać na tych górach, a tutaj w przyszłości koło tej wioski pillagerów można byłoby sobie dupnąć wielgachną wioskę z Main Colonies. Jeżeli oczywiście będę w to tutaj grać, a wszystko się zobaczy. Ale dobra. Wracam się tak na razie. Znaczy nie w tą stronę. Dom. O. Lecę z powrotem. Tamto miejsce jest, gdzie się zrespiłem. Ale naprawdę bardzo fajny świat mi się trafił. Tylko troszkę, kurczę... Troszkę za dużo wiosek jest. Ja bym tak o połowę respa obniżył, żeby te wioski były bardzo rzadkie. Tak byłoby najlepiej. Może w tamtej wiosce znajdzie się materiał na żonę. No w sumie zawsze jakiegoś kompana by miał do kopania. Reklama? Spokojnie, tutaj cię nic nie ominie. Nie, nic cię nie ominie. Jak to głośno jest. Ja pierdzielę. O kurde. Witam cię, Konrad, już jako 13-miesięcznego subskrybenta. Witam. Dobra, nie powinienem tak robić, jak mnie gardło nawala. Ale witam! Dzięki za 13 miesięcy wsparcia już, kurde. A teraz? O, to teraz już reklamek nie będzie. Nie, teraz już w reklamie... O, mamma mia. Wow. O, dobra, nie. Teraz w reklamki to już może mieć wywalone. A Primika czy zwykłego? Chyba Primika, co nie? Primik lepszy jest, z tego co pamiętam. Prime. Oj, elegancko. To tam wychodzi chyba 4 zł na miesiąc? Jakoś tak. Jak masz właśnie Prime. I w sumie, ty jak masz Prime'a, to masz dostęp do czegoś takiego jak Prime Video, prawda? Czy nie? We Francji drożej? A ile ci to wychodzi na miesiąc? Masz? To w sumie ten Prime spoko sprawa jest. Nie dość, że masz, że możesz dać... Chyba jest twoim ulubionym twórcą. Skoro mi dajesz Remika. Chyba tak. W sumie, no, chyba tak. Ale... właśnie nie dość, że możesz dać ulubionemu streamerowi subskrypcję, to jeszcze możesz sobie, kurde, oglądać filmy, bo właśnie ja zauważyłem, że jest parę fajnych filmów na tym Prime'ie. A przynajmniej ostatnio, bo ja wczoraj szukałem filmy jakie do poglądania. Wczoraj albo przedwczoraj? Nie, to wczoraj. Nie, wczoraj sobie szukałem jednego filmu do poglądania i kurczę, nie było go praktycznie nigdzie jak na Prime Video. Więc kurczę, czasami ten Prime się opłaca. I paczki za darmo na Amazonie? Jakie paczki za darmo masz na Amazonie w sensie? Co, że masz jakieś odpady? W sumie, znaczy są coś takiego, jest coś takiego jak... To nie jest Mystery Box, to są te takie paczki za naprawdę bardzo niską cenę, co ludzie kupują i to są przebrane paczki z materiałów, które gdzieś tam się walają i coś takiego może kupować. Kurde, tylko nie wiem jaka to była profesjonalna nazwa tego, ale coś takiego ktoś kiedyś gadał, że są takie paczki za bardzo małą cenę albo za coś takiego. Kurde, no nie przypomnę sobie tej nazwy. Na Amazonie z Prime'em. A co w tej paczce jest? W sensie to jest jak... coś się... Oj, coś się... Teksturki pierniczą lekko. Ej, te NPC-ty to żyją? La. Witam panią. To się zapłakała, co? Witam. Ale masz miecz. I tarczę, kurde, też bym chciał taki. I waystoning. Mogę się tepać z jednego punktu do drugiego. Czy dobrze gdzie? Nie, kurde, schizę miałem jakoś. Okay. A, darmowa dostawa. O, to coś takiego jak jest w Allegro Smart. Jak masz smarcika, to też masz darmową dostawę. Powyżej tam oczywiście jakieś tam ilości hajsu, ale masz. Chyba. Ash Brick. Lampros. Guard. Witam. Unemploy. Tą porozmawiać nie mogę. W sensie porozmawiać, potradować nie mogę. Tam coś na dole jest. O kurde, witam. Co my tu mamy? Darmowy waystone. Nice. Pierdolisz, kolejna wioska? Tam, czy ja widzę kolejną wioskę? Trochę dużo tych wiosek tu jest. Troszkę dużo. Nice. Piękne. Przynajmniej w Polsce, no ta 49 zł, kurde, no to nie jest to dużo. Naprawdę nie jest to dużo. Za rok. No. Ja bym oglądał Twitcha, to pewnie też bym sobie kupił. Tego Prime'a i bym komuś dawał. No ale sobie nikogo nie oglądam oprócz samego siebie. Jest. Ja, nikt nie spełnia moich wymagań. Family Tree? Jobless, Orphan, Claire, Ayo, Sarah. I tu jest jeszcze ktoś jeden w tej chałupie, poka. I co jest, kurde, ty masz kaganiec na buzi? Nie wiem, ale fajne dupeczki tu mieszkają. Trzeba będzie zaciągnąć do chałupy. Witam, arogancki, witam! Cześć! Na Allegro tyle samo jest. Co ja robię? Kurde, nie wiem. Ja nie pamiętam, za ile tego smarta kupowałem. To nie było czasem 30 zł na rok? To są okulary? No właśnie, kurczę, miałem w głowie, że to mogą być okulary, ale po czasie przestało mi to przypominać okulary. Ja, bo to... What? Kolejna wioska? To jest wioska na wiosce. Dobra, idę sprawdzić. Kurde, ale czemu tu jest tyle wiosek? Jasne, nie wiem, czyżby to Minecraft Comes Alive tyle wiosek wysrywało? Ale w sumie dobra, wiosek trochę jest, ale... No właśnie, też trzeba pamiętać, że są zombiaki, które zjadają villagerów, więc... No. A nie wiem, czy się w ogóle mogą rozmnażać te w normalny sposób te NPC, więc źle wie. Znaczy nie, no dobra, kaganiec... Tym kagańcem to żartowałem, ale bardziej mi to, jak już miałbym tak realnie powiedzieć, to mi... Pierwsze, co mi się rzuciło do głowy, to był, kurczę... Jak to się nazywa? Ten akwalung. No. Ja myślałem, że ona ma akwalunga, skoro mieszka na wysepce. To było moje pierwsze skojarzenie. Z tym kagańcem to tak dla jaj sobie powiedziałem, ale pierwsze to było z akwalungiem, bo tam nie wyglądało tak jak okulary, tylko wyglądało właśnie jak ta maska do oddychania pod wodą. Z tym mi się to najbardziej skojarzyło. No i se żyją ci ludzie. Ty, poka bluzka? Kurde gościu? Poka, czaj, Patryk. jaka fajna. Ja sobie taką powinienem kupić. No. Ja całe życie tego Minecrafta gram, więc byłaby idealna. O, mogę stąd potradować. 6 skóry z jednego emeralda, 7 emeraldów za leather tunic. A tak średnio by mi się chciało kupować to. Tutaj coś jest, tutaj znowu coś jest. Okej. Nie wiem co to jest. Gilbert. Personality Grabi. A, ty jesteś tym, dobra. Ty pilnujesz, więc nic tam nie mogę pohandlować. Robertos. 26 tego i 20 tego. Czego ode mnie chcesz? Co? Ja tam niczego od ciebie nie chcę. Torium. Ja tu się tylko rozglądam. Ja tu się tylko rozglądam. No co ty tak płaczesz? Mam 42 karty w przeglądarce, RAM nie była go litość. Nie no, to weź sobie zapisz w notatniku, co tak... Zapisz sobie co jak w notatniku i powyłączaj to, chłopie. O! Ja, bo ty zaraz ci komputer zrobi bum bum. Fajnie. Ty, a w sumie zamiast tego mogę wziąć. Ale mało tutaj, kurczę, ludzi jest w tej wiosce. Większość w tej wiosce to jest gardów, z tego co widzę. Nie, większość gardów jest to niby NPC-ów. A to ty byłeś? O kurwa, tylko czekaj, na tutaj... Czekaj. A! Czy ty Patryk jesteś, tak? Hello. Dobra, no przynajmniej wiem jak masz na imię. No chyba, że się nazywasz Adelina. Adelina arogancka. Wiesz, tak może być. Ej, kurwa. Robertos. Ty tutaj Bruce incydentu nie rób. Co ty kurde biednego świniaka naciągasz? Jakiś zdziwiony, popatrz się. Jakiś zdziwiony, że podszedłem do niego i go upomniałem. Nie, jakiś zdziwiony, kurde, nie wiem z jakiego powodu. Patryk, dobra, już myślałem, że Adelina. Okej, to dobrze wiedzieć. Witam, Patryk. To nie... Kurde, co... Ćwirryku. Ale jakieś dziwne ambienty są w tym Minecrafcie. A w sumie ja sobie sprawdzę, ile mój CPU ma aktualnie stopni. Poka. Pokasowe mi. Pokaz. I 47 stopni, a karta graficzna? Uff, 49 stopni. Kurde, panie, jaki... Ten komputer to się w ogóle nie grzeje. Jest zimny jak lód. Dobra, ja mieszkam w Mermiur. Tak. To się mieszkam. Nie mieszkam, ale to jest pierwsza wioska, którą spotkałem, więc... Good. Dobra, to wy sobie tutaj pracuj ta, coś tam rób ta, bla, a ja idę sobie domek budować. Nie, ja chciałem na tej górze sobie domek zbudować, więc tak zrobię. No ja na twoim miejscu bym sobie pozapisywał gdzieś tutaj bym te karty powyłączał, bo to za dużo, kurczę, za dużo. Oj, ewidentnie za dużo. Ja tak robię, że żeby nie odpalać za dużej ilości kart, sobie w notatniku zapisuję to, co tam chciałem przeglądać. I mam spokój. Później trzeba po prostu jedynie skopiować, albo... No, skopiować, bo sobie zapisujesz, co tam sobie zapisałeś. Bo to też uciążliwe jest jak tego. Jak jest tego aż tak dużo. Dobra. Chociaż kurde ty. Albo czekaj, te góry są fajne, ale te tereny tutaj obok są mega git też. Kurde, idę jeszcze je sprawdzić, zanim cokolwiek zacznie działać. Pokaż. O, tam coś jest. Jakieś znaki cywilizacji. Pozaziemskie. Nie no. Chociaż sobie... A właśnie, jest bez kitu, jest taki modzik. Alien. Minecraft mod. Był taki mod, kurde, jak ty się nazywałeś? No. Giga Rescue. Dobra, pokaż. Giga Rescue. Na jaką wersję to jest? Giga Rescue Minecraft mody. Ty! Serio? Jest na tą wersję, na której ja gram? Jest! O lol. Jest! Mod na aliena. Może by sobie dodał, kurde? By se ksenomorfy koło mojej chałupy ganiały. To jest w ciekawe, bo to mogło być. Ja pamiętam, że byłem fanatykiem, kurczę, aliena, więc sobie mi by to tam pasowało. Nie wiedziałem, że ma to wersję, jest, kurde, fajnie. Ty, i czy ja dobrze widzę? Czy to jest sawanna? Nie, to chyba nie. Kto by się spodziewał, że będę mieć wioskę koło domu? Kto by się spodziewał? Ile tego mam? Mam 39. Dobra, tak jak już tutaj jestem, to sobie te hajbale, kurde, pozbieram. Wy macie gości coś fajnego w tej skrzynce? Ja tu nawet nie ma nic. Też kurde tak czysto dosyć. Siema. kurde, no nie ma miejsca jak na razie, więc tego nie otwieram, się jak nie opłaca. Zbrojce, koleżka. O, tu się wszyscy wieśniacy zebrali. A ti, no mogę sobie pogadać? Nie. Pasyw. O! Aleksandra. Nie wiem, coś tam. Dimitrios. Kurde, są... Kto tu handlować może? Ja tu kurde w ogóle mógł handlować jakkolwiek. Mogę sobie pohandlować? Wymieniać się za coś? Kurde, ty nic nie chcesz, ty? Kurde, tu nikt nie chce handlować ze mną, co jest? Ja rozumiem, że dupeczki dupeczkami, gardy i tak dalej, ale kurde... Nie mogę z nikim handlować. Poza tym, że miał miejsce, to ja sobie kurde dokraftuję nowe chlebki. Weź mi... Nie. To z... A kurde, to jest tylko jedna ruda, to... Wywalone. Świetnie. Dobra, dozbieram do staka i beczki. Ty, a ty nie jesteś kurde kleryczką? Ja, ty jesteś kleryczką? O właśnie, 32 rotten flasha za emeralda i redstone dust. Dobra, dust to akurat... To akurat takie se, ale kurde, no, wymiana mięska na emeraldy to już fajna sprawa. Co? O ja pierdolę. Ludzie, radzę wam uciekać do domu, bo zaraz wszyscy umrzecie. No. Nie mogę jej spać, co nie? No właśnie. Nie mogę jej spać. Oj. Niedobrze. No, zrobił się Blood Moon. O kurde, dobra. Ja stąd uciekam, żeby wasza wioska nie upadła, bo tu kurczę... No zaraz będzie pogrom. Na wodę. Czekaj. Nie tak. Tutaj coś jest do zwiedzenia, tu jest taki kawałeczek, tu jest wioska, tutaj jest jakiś domek, tu jest tu jest druga wioska, tu jest kurde wioska, tu jest do odbudowy wszystko. No wiosek to jest naprawdę sporo. Jeżeli tutaj bym się osiedlił, to miałbym dosyć blisko do tej osady. Może powinienem tu się osiedlić? Takie płaskie tereny i w sumie jest złe, tylko kurde jak ja widzę ile tu mobów. Znaczy już widzę... Oj. Dobra, już widzę moby z Burning Chaos. Dobra, to nie. Ja sobie poczekam na wodzie, aż minie ta noc. Ja sobie ładnie poczekam. A, pobiorę tego Gigoresk. Dawaj, kurde. Jako fanatyk Aliena to... Czemu nie? Niech będzie. Zobaczę, co ten mod dodaje tak w 100%.
Hello,
Aha. I co? Ah, rather than spawning on the surface like zombies. O. Ciekawe. Ciekawe to jest. Okej. Masę dodam. Nie będzie mi świat rozpieprzy. Jak z tą nocą, kurde, nocą to się nogi pocą, jest połowa dopiero. Serio? Kurde, dopiero połówka. Może by coś poglądał na YouTube w tym czasie, kurczę. Teoretycznie można by było coś sobie poglądać. O kurde co? O, może sobie... O, no Mam pytanko. Jest ktoś na streamie? Bo chcę się zapytać, czy tylko ja mam takie problemy. To się znam osobę, która też ma taki problem. I chciałem się dopytać, czy wszyscy mamy taki problem? Czy kurde, tylko my we dwójkę mamy taki problem? Jest ktoś na streamku, czy tak nie za bardzo? Chyba nie wiem kogo. Dobra, jak mi to nie działa, to ja sobie to chwilę poglądam.
I am simply a sentient in rock and stone. Not to worry, we shall tolerate your existence and presence until the brood begins to hunger, that is. Today, you, me, my wife the Empress, and our newly acquired bluebird pet shall truly finish this hive within the region, continue expanding our insect empire across the globe, destroying our rival insect colonies. And then we're going to... I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see hives. That way we can eat them alive and also take all their royal jelly. We're going to be sending out our hell stag beetles, our hell beetles, and also our acid spitters. The newest, youngest, and also some of the most deadly members of the family. We also took the time to give them all appropriate names, just in case they don't end up making it back. A major shout out to you, this wonderful community, for all of these wondrous names for our little disgusting babies. I love you guys. Now then, be off, my children. Find us a hive queen, an empress, a princess, whatever you must, but just make sure that you load yourselves up with plenty of royal jelly. We have much expanding to do. Sent to steal all their things, we are of the now, by the way, or at least the leader of this little charge, but I'm guessing they probably the wasps out first. I'm gonna have our mega wasps glide right in front of them. Our giga locust, well, they can glide, but they're not quite as fast. I want them to be some of the first to interact and to attack them. Oh, you poor cowards. They'd never seen anything like that before.
Ej. O. Kurde, ryba mnie gryzie w dupce. Zostaw mnie. Zostaw. Dalej płyniesz? No kurde, dalej płyniesz. A, no. Kurde. Spadówa. Pal gumę.
In their lives. Looks like their momentary fear has lapsed, and they are coming. Oh no, they are so afraid of the mega wasps. Oh, this is the most sad and pathetic thing. Alright, I've had enough. I'm bringing in the spillipedes. Oh, a little brave one here. No, none of them are okay. I mean, I don't have to spell it out for you, do I? Or maybe I do, because I'm not all that sure either where we just put it. Hello there. Empress spawn egg. Okay. Provide us with royal of lava in Mama's egg. Had an army of insectoids until recently, so go figure. Ah, the hollowing out of the mountain is coming along quite. Let's get. Oh, this keeps happening. Please tend to Camino. I'm shocked she hasn't gotten an infection, but it's mostly cracks and bruises that this is happening to. I don't see it right now, but if she.
Dobra. Jest dzień, więc... Gdzie ja to kurde, gdzie ja to wioskę z Minecraft Console Live? Tak, z main kolonii zrobię. No właśnie. Kurde, zawsze mogę waypointa zrobić. Waystone, no właśnie, to też jest to. Kurde. Dobrze. Nice. 10 tego, 1 emerald za 10 cegieł. Kurde, fajny trajcik. Jak dać więcej emeraldów, to przyjdę. Hello. Ortografer, 7 emeraldów za item frame'a, kompas, emerald. 16 kartek za jednego emeralda i pusta mapa za 7. Jesteś gościu kartograferem, ty no? Wezmę sobie 2 dynki. Z tobą nic nie mogę zrobić, okej. Kurde, żadnego lasu tu nie ma. Ale biednie to wygląda. Ja ci pierdzielę. Ale bieda. O kurde, co to jest?
Stop thinking about you, and this morning I light a shade of blue. 'Cause being alone, baby's better than being with you. Places that you'd never find. I know something about a state of mind. I've got the dreamer in me. Roses bloom and the sun will shine. Leave your troubles in the world behind. Stars shine brighter when you free your mind. I've got the dreamer in me. The destination you will see. The world is waiting for the ones who hold the key. Just look inside, unlock the possibility. The dreamer lives in you and me. So take a breath and make the moment last. You'll never know if you never ask. All you need will be within your grasp. I've got the dreamer in me. And when we reach the destination, you will see. The world is waiting for the ones who Let's look inside, unlock the possibility. The dreamer lives in you and me. You and me, yeah. The dreamer lives in you and me.
Are you feeling heavy? Do you have a weight on your back that's too hard to carry? Renders you still in your tracks. Tell me, are you hurting? Do you have a burden like a chain on your neck? Well, let me tell you something. You don't have to live like that. No one soul could never make it alone. But if we all stand together, then we're stronger than one. And when your world starts to crumble, you don't have to run. 'Cause if we all stand together, then we're stronger than one. And have you been rejected? I promise I've been there too. I know how it affects you in every single thing that you do. Are you brokenhearted, feeling disregarded, like you got nothing left? Well, let me tell you something. You don't have to live like that. No one soul could never make it alone. But if we all stand together, then we're stronger than one. And when your world starts to crumble, you don't have to run. 'Cause if we all stand together, then we're stronger than one. And when you're down, when you're caught out in the rain, when you're not feeling so strong, there and then, no matter when there is a hand, you can always count on. Take my word when it hurts so bad, and you're not sure what to do. It doesn't have to be up to you, no. 'Cause one soul could never make it alone. But if we all stand together, then we're stronger than one. And when your world starts to crumble, you don't have to run. 'Cause if we all stand together, then we're stronger than one.
Hear the songbirds sing, see the sunlight touch your skin, feel the mountains closing in. Over valley long, over trees covered with snow, fly the raven, rook and crow. And I won't ask much from you, just try and keep me on your mind. And I won't waste time with endless dreaming. And if it goes too far, I won't forget how close we are. Into the woods we go, waterfall, river slow. There are many ways I
ask for much. I know you will always carry me. I won't ask for much. I know your love will carry me. I won't ask for much, 'cause I know you will always carry me. I won't ask for much, 'cause I know you will always carry me. I won't ask for much, 'cause I know your love will carry me. I won't ask for much, 'cause I know your love will carry me. I won't ask for much. I know your love will carry me. Won't ask for much. I know you will always carry me. 8, 17, 25, 2/3 alive. I can still breathe enough of the time, enough to pretend like I'm alright. Eight, 17, 25 with bloodshot eyes. I can still sleep on most nights. I can still, but sometimes. Don't know, don't know, don't know, don't know, don't know, don't know, no, no. Don't know, 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 no, no. Don't know it. If anything's gonna get better. If anything's gonna get better yet. If anything's gonna get better yet. If anything's gonna, if anything's gonna. 8, 17, 25, my hands still tied. It's the routine, clarified, leave behind the things that troubled my cluttered mind. My cluttered mind. 8, 17, 25, it's about time to say goodbye, detoxify my only life. I will not just get by, just get by, just get by, just get by. Don't know, 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 no, no. Don't know, 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 no, no. I don't know it. If anything's gonna get better. If anything's gonna get better yet. If anything's gonna get better yet. If anything's gonna, if anything's gonna, if anything's gonna get better. If anything's gonna get better yet. If anything's
come quite as quickly as they once did. I found peace again with the word God. But God's not quite the same old man I met when I was 10. I've been weeping lately, might be the most I've ever looked like you. My mind is hateful, my hands are cruel. From my mouth, so what excuse? My throat's an open grave, but I've heard stories of you, graves, resurrected men, a history of bringing death to end. So won't you please speak and give us life again? Though things may not be quite the same as they used to be, I still find myself in that old story. Loud and clear, my actions speak. Some words remain steady, like when my voice rings out above the crowd. Kill him now, kill him now, kill him now, yeah. Kill him now, yeah. Kill him now, just kill him now. My throat screams for the grave, but I've heard stories of you, graves, resurrected men, a history of bringing death to it. So won't you finally speak and spring up life again? Maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe we've held on to ancient thoughts. Surely if God is God, He will take the risk and claim us all. Maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe we held on to ancient thoughts. Surely if God is God, she will take the risk and claim us all as her children. When you're tired and worn, and you feel like you can't go on, I'll be there to put one foot in front of the other. When you've lost your way
Oh, he got snatched! He got snatched!
Co to jest?
He got snatched! He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. The other world, that first world crashed. Hey, but yeah, I'm also gonna support. Just drop a like. It will die. Doesn't look like it. And voila! Oh, I think it's gonna hug the cat. Or maybe not, because the cat in the movie never did. Right? He had to be. No, wait. Both of them are getting face hug, which is good. This is what we want to have. Now, I don't know if it needs to eat a cat. He's fast. Oh. Save him. He's deaf. One alien grew up now. Good, good. He's killing stuff. Kill a freaking facehugger. Oh man. Oops. Wow. So now the Xenos are... Is that Neomorph climbing? Up there? Yeah, they can break through stuff. Oh, it looked like it was trying to get the guy up there. It's still trying? Murdered. Okay, let me look around. Oh my god. Oh my... I just started sweating. Oh my god, you can hear them down there. And there's Enderman here too. Look at this! Dude! I'm gonna go off now. There's one right there. Oh snap. One of the Xenos got up here. One's still growing over here, it looks like. I can let you free now, I guess.
Kurde, dziwny modzik. Ale fajnie się wydaje. To. Daj mi coś do pooglądania. Szybko. Szybko Factorio. Nie. Tu. O ja pierdolę. A w sumie.
Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2 with the reigning world champion, the Terran in the red from Team Liquid. It's Clem. Up against the Protoss in the blue, the loose cannon, we have Zhao. A best of 9 Terran versus Protoss showdown between two players well known for their aggressive strategies. Almost as aggressive as me asking you to smash that like button. And maybe even subscribe to hard counter the algorithm. And Jimmy, what are we at? 1,542 likes on this video, on this cast, and I'll cast another one. And I'll probably do it anyways because I don't know what else I'd do with my life. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you've had a good day so far, and hopefully it's about to get just a little bit better. As already something a little bit different in the production tab. Zhao starting out with a Stargate, not intimidated by the aggressive potential that Clem brings to bear, not falling into the trap of trying to blink micro against a player who probably has better blink micro than himself, but instead changing it up. And yes, Neon Violet Square might have an entire intercontinental journey between the players with how ridiculous the rush distance is and the fact that there's a back pocket base you can take with relative ease. But still, the Stargate is medium risk and, well, I'd say high risk and medium reward. As it's a more active scouting tool, it can completely shut down any sort of Terran aggression. But very simply, between Cyclones and Widow Mines and Marines themselves, the margin for error is sometimes non-existent. So the Phoenixes can give you a lot of map control and a small chance to completely shut down the Terran, with a large chance of losing them if you look the wrong way at the wrong second. But Zhao has never been intimidated from doing incredibly risky strategies And I really wouldn't put this one that far out there. Meanwhile, Clem, just building up back at home. Has either of them scouted? Okay, Zhao did send a probe out. Clem has not yet confirmed that he's really building anything on the other side of the map, but he has plenty of Marines. He has a Cyclone in the main. I think he's anticipating something along these lines. Though, when it comes to Terran builds early on, there's not too much variety in your path to getting a whole bunch of Marines, Marauders, and Medevacs. But so far, the most conservative I've seen Clem in quite a while. Robotics facility already on the way. Zhao not taking the back pocket base, which has 2 gases, but only 4 minerals, making it kind of unique. A lot of the time, safer bases will have less gas. But having this much gas usually translates into a lot of tech. But Zhao, no rush 5 minutes means a 3rd base on location. Robotics bay on the way. A mech Protoss opener. As so far, he has 3 adepts, 4 phoenixes, 1 observer, and 0 hex. As he comes straight into the main, picks up the Cyclone, knocks it down with ease. Scratches the paint on the medevac, but Clem not intimidated either. He picks up immediately and leaves the base. Of course, Zhao, it's going to be quite obvious. There's no Marines. Where'd the Marines go? An Immortal and a Phoenix, he recalls immediately. It doesn't take a genius to figure out where the double medevac drop went, as it's now angling towards the 3rd, but then an observer already spotted it. And that means Zhao should be in position by the time the Terran army arrives. It's just a bunch of Marines with stim, and a bunch of dudes with drugs and guns are actually still kind of an existential threat to the Protoss. But with Guardian Shield, the Phoenixes, and the Adepts underneath, it appears Zhao has completely shut down Clem's early aggression. And Clem doesn't even have a 3rd command center behind this. The Stargate plays so far paying off with dividends, as Zhao is keeping full control of the map, and he's already made it to Robotics Facility. Though he doesn't have a Colossus in production. A 2nd Stargate? Okay. We had 1st Stargate, but have we had 2nd Stargate? Which, he's going for extended thermal lance, which is all well and good. If you have any Colossi, finally adds 1 to the production tab. But pure Phoenix Colossus? We'll see how quickly Clem is able to figure this one out, as Vikings and Ghosts are a very solid counter. But you have to have those, and you have to build up your infrastructure and have your economy. But Zhao now has a 12-worker lead, even with Clem working towards the +1 attack and combat shield. So this is the most dangerous moment. There's not even a Colossus. The Phoenixes are not going to be able to deal with this on their own. The units are not quite in position, but the Phoenix is actually cutting off some of the reinforcements, including, very importantly, the Widowmons. And he bought enough time for the Colossus to finish at the robotics facility. Concussive shells on the way, but there's no Marauders with this, and it doesn't affect the Colossi anyways. A grand total of 2 gateways and 2 Stargates. Clem is building his 3rd command center on location, transferring SCVs over. He's not putting all his Marines in one basket here. And Zhao just sitting back. If you're in this position as Protoss, you have a little bit of leeway. He can decide just to build up to 200 supply and try to move out, and that may very well be a strong choice. But also, he could tack up. We could be looking at carriers, or even a Psystorm at this case, because he's completely boxed out Clem technologically. And now Clem is going to have to rely on his multitasking and his map presence to survive. Which, you know, pretty reliable overall. But Zhao has made his choice. The fleet beacon is lit, and he calls to the Golden Armada for aid. Will there be enough time for the Stargates to answer? It's going to be, I'm going to make a call and say it's going to be carriers. The way he's playing with this much economy, he's now taking the 4th base at the back. I love the choice to take the outer base first, make sure you can defend it, and then you pretty much get 2 more gas geysers for free. If he had taken the back base first, moving out and taking the 4th would have been a lot more difficult. So he's already preempted that. It was a bit riskier, but it pays off yet again. Watch him just go Phoenix range. That would certainly be a split. He's only got 2 gateways. Just enough to warp in a handful of gateway units to get in the way. What? He does. Okay, I was joking. I was saying it dramatically, like something that would... He goes Phoenix range, so he's fully committed to the Phoenixes. Unfortunately, a Widow Mine will uncommit at least one of them. A carrier is on the way. I guess when you have 10 Phoenixes and you have a fleet beacon, there are no upgrades for the carriers out of the fleet beacon, and tectonic destabilizers aren't that important. Phoenix range is a bit costly, 150, 150, but it doesn't slow down the rest of your unit composition, so he just fills it in. And to me, especially in Game 1, this shows a willingness to try both new things and not be tied down by the meta. So, for those who don't know, Zhao recently came back. He had his obligatory military service in Korea, but he chose immediately to come back to professional play a few months ago. And in this day and age, especially considering the kind of lack of grassroots scene in Korea, that shows a dedication to the game. So even though he wasn't the highest level Protoss, he certainly was an original one. And that doesn't seem to have stopped at any point. 3 carriers at a time. Clem has showed a vulnerability. Every Terran struggles with this sort of oh, he scans! Oh! The triple Stargate. He's looking for it, because if it was going to be a ground army, he already would have moved out. But the starports are on the way. The Vikings are being produced as quickly as possible. Clem is nearly maxed out. But there are 4 Colossi, 3 carriers, and 10 Phoenixes. The Mech Protoss army is going to overwhelm the Vikings easily, and the Phoenix range completes with them. Right now, Zhao is in the lead. He has the tech advantage, he has the upgrades, he has the economy. He cuts off. I think the observer spotted it, and also not hard to anticipate what Clem's going to do in this position. There are 11 Phoenixes, and now he's going up to half a dozen carriers. It's going to be Mask Ghost Viking. Now, the hard part for Zhao is fighting on the open field. Because against a concave Terran with a bio ball that's been smooshed out into an arc, well, that's going to be a lot harder to deal with. But right now, the Colossi still quite a threat. And here come the Phoenixes to help zone him out. EMP, of course, very dangerous. Widow Mine connects on something down there. But here comes Zhao with pretty much the display model Protoss. This is supposed to be on the box, not something you actually build. Widow Mine connects. The Phoenix is getting wiped out quickly, but they're doing their job of tanking the damage. Observers? Is there drilling claws on the mines? No. I don't believe he has a factory. Wait, where is the factory? Ah, so that factory is not researching drilling claws, as it floats in the corner as a incredibly expensive scout. But now there are 8 carriers and 4 Colossi. The turrets permitted. The TPM for Clem. He makes a front line of missile turrets as we move into the tower defense phase. The Widow Mine still slowing things down, but Zhao is starting to bank up. He's building 3 more Stargates. That's going to be half a dozen. Wait, even more than that? That's going to be 6 Stargates. I don't know if you could actually afford it, but since he's maxed out, that's the closest you can get to warping in carriers, is having so many Stargates you can refill your entire army at once. And compared to the cost of a carrier, they're not that costly. But right now, Clem has nearly a Scandinavia of Vikings. The EMPs on the front line. The sentries wiped out. The EMPs are absolutely devastating. The effective damage is ridiculous. But he's caught behind his own turrets with the main army. Clem is chasing this down. A lot of the Colossi are tumbling. The Phoenix is still knocking things down. A recall, a sad one at that. 1 carrier gets recalled. Oh, that was an absolute disaster. He fought directly into the defensive line of the Frenchmen, and the Maginot Line held. There are a lot of moves that Zhao could have made, and that was certainly one of them. Clem did lose a lot. Don't be fooled. Like, that was an overwhelming victory. It was decisive, but not enough left over in order to attack into Zhao. The one thing we're missing here, and with Ghosts on the field, it wasn't nuclear missiles. I wasn't going to say nuclear missiles, but now if I could go back, I would. As nuclear missile, is it just called nuke? Doesn't matter. A nuclear missile is in production, as well as a fusion core and 3 more Wait, will he do? I have a dream. If there was ever a game for Clem to go battle cruiser, battle cruisers are actually an incredible counter to carriers, though not nearly as good against Tempests, which are quite easily accessible. Because carriers and their interceptors attack relatively frequently, but for low damage. The armor on the carriers is... they barely... they shrug it off with ease. He's already getting +3 ship weapons. He's building 8 Vikings at a time. But what will we see? Now, there's not enough supply left over for either player to really deal with this. A Venn Diascan comes out there, 7 orbital commands as we add it up here. The Widow Mine is drawn in with the interceptors on top of the Vikings. Beautifully done by Jean. The Vikings in autumn colors. As Jean takes another base on the outside. +3 air weapons is about to complete. +2 armor on the ground, as well as +3 ground weapons is in production. Clem adding half a dozen more turrets at 17 so far, so over 1 turret per minute. More cannons for Jean as well. Those aren't even char. They are charge slots. All right, just we caught it once they were already attacking. The small bio army comes back to deal with it. He's got 16 Marines and 8 Marauders and 26 Vikings. Wow. Oh, Clem, why do you do me like this? He started Yamato Cannon and then canceled it for Caduceus Reactor. I appreciate that he remembered Caduceus Reactor for once. But, almost like he's trolling us. He has Yamato Cannon queued up behind, though. To be clear, it's coming. Alright, Yamato Cannon is on the way. It's gonna take a little while, and Caduceus Reactor with double medevac energy regen is actually one of the most overlooked up. Pretty much any upgrade Gumiho gets and no one else does is one of the best upgrades in the game. 10 more turrets in the middle of the map. As here we go. We're going into full direct strike mode. This isn't even direct strike. This is like BGH. With unlimited money, but production still at the same rate. That's effectively what we're playing right now. Big game hunters indeed. With the world champion. Why is there a zealot here? Bob! Yamato Cannon is in production. And here we go. The Vikings will be able to intercept. That's more than enough Vikings. This is the new Netflix spin-off I've heard of. This many Vikings, though. Vulnerable, historically, to Storm. But one thing that Jean doesn't have is that Storm. He's building disruptors and a Shrine to Dark. The double Ds of destruction in production. And, you know, let's list off the rest. We got Warp Prism Speed, +1 shields, +3 ground armor, +1...
Dobra. A, w sumie chyba nikogo nie ma, to sobie poglądam tego StarCraftika na drugim ekranie. I dawaj mnie StarCrafta na drugi.
air armor and blink. Probably the latest blink I've seen in the current patch. 2 battle cruisers in production for Clam. Not a single Tempest in sight, nor production either. So, with those battle cruisers, if he gets to 4 or 6 battle cruisers, he could go pretty much uncontested. But Zhao is disrupting his way through the defenses. He's been maxed out for a while. The battle will continue. Another volley comes out, but the Vikings are just so much to deal with right now. That's why he's getting the Stalkers to try to zone him out, but the small ground army is still enough to zone out the gateway units. Meanwhile, more Zealots coming in. Both players are contending with the supply cap right now, as they both have enough money to rebuild or build, but there's only 200 supply, and they're building the most supply expensive units out there. Battle cruisers and carriers. And ghosts are 3 supply apiece nowadays. The Vikings still exchanging massive volleys, but a broadside of Raptors comes through. The first battle cruisers have completed. And Clem, for once, willing to embrace that extreme late game terrain. So many times I've seen him fight and fight with this Bioforce, maybe a few Liberators, some Vikings. But it feels like Zhao has been so committed to this composition that Clem has been inspired. He goes through the squares with the Ruptor shot, finds the right angle for it. Meanwhile, another one pulls back with the army. There aren't enough Stalkers to stop this, and another carrier is just taken out of the sky. And he is hiding the battle cruisers. He's knocking down the carriers and forcing or encouraging Zhao to build more and more anti-ground or stalk. That's so many turrets. That's so many turrets. Clem still has 23 turrets. He's lost 17. He's built 40 turrets this game and counting, which makes it all the more egregious that he has not gotten high-sec auto-tracking nor building armor. Clem, come on. You got Caduceus Reactor. I'm like... But not getting the building upgrades at this stage when the engineering bays have been idle for minutes. It's not like you can lift them off and go scout, all right? Not since the war. Thank you. Stop listening to the cast in the future, though, Clem. That's a little rude. Meanwhile, Vikings on deck. Looking to deal with this. Disruptor shots. The Let the battle cruisers jump into the fray. A tactical dunk on top of everything. But the Yamato cannons will obliterate the disruptors. They have more than enough damage. He gets another one. All the disruptors are taken out by a fusillade of battle cruiser cannons. 6 Tempests are in production. Zhao just had so much supply freed up, but Mass Dark Templar is on the way across the map. He's got DT Blink. Clem has gone battle cruisers. Zhao has gone Dark Templar. What a game. Game 1 between these two maddening players. The evil genius is here. But so there is no there are plenty of turrets, but not quite there. A nuclear launch, I forgot about that. A nuclear launch detected. Meanwhile, oh, he doesn't see it. Zhao, oh, he doesn't see it. Oh, 17! What if he had recalled too? Oh, that was about 3 seconds away from being the best nuke in years. Meanwhile, though, the Tempest fighting against the battle cruisers. Yamato cannon is off cooldown. Tactical jump as well. Disruptors through the squares. More Raptors going down. The Tempest kiting back, but such a fragile army out of Zhao. Oh my. A mass warping of High Templar for Archons. You know, it's quite something. One, exactly the same amount of upgrades for both sides. That's highly amusing. He hasn't even researched Psystorm. Zhao has had almost unlimited money, at least until this point, and he hasn't even researched arguably the best upgrade for splash damage. And again, against battle cruisers and against ghosts. Well, this nuke is not going to be as effective because he already cleared out the probes. And he gets the assimilator. 10 probes dead in the last minute or so, but I think a lot of them to the battle cruisers in the bottom left corner. And Clem just gliding along. He's got maxed out upgrades for everything except mech weapons, but I don't think he has any mech weapons. Fun fact, the Tempest... Actually, I don't know if the rocks are counted as buildings. But... What? That is so many Tempests. He's got 13 Tempests. There are 10 battle cruisers on the field, though. Tactical jump, I believe, is ready. Oh, but the blink of the DTs and the blink of the battle cruisers. He jumps behind. There's really no flanking damage, but the Yamato volley puts them all into the orange and the red. But not that many Vikings remain. The stalkers underneath. Terrible, terrible damage. Mutually assured destruction. The stalkers are almost all taken down. The battle cruiser count is down to 3. The Vikings as well. Everyone dies at the end. Almost every single unit, and actually, but now comes in with the Dark Templar. They somehow survived that engagement, and both players are knocked down to 100 supply. No one's... Now what? The battle cruisers are all dead. So is the armada. Clem still has orbitals and mules. But Zhaon still has a lot of mining bases. So... Wow. How... That battle was almost even. Zhaon killed about 1,000 more minerals. Clem killed about 1,000 more gas. Somehow... Thousand more minerals. Clem killed about 1,000 more gas. Somehow, we come away from it. I think. Somehow, we come away from it. I think in these sort of situations, it favors the Terran with the orbital commands with the mules. But the war may have been fought with battle cruisers and tempests, but the next one will be fought with marines, marauders, zealots, and raptors as we go to ground. Clem able to rebuild up to 165. He's relying more on the bio as we go back down the tech tree, with so many units and resources being eliminated. But Zhaon has great upgrades as well. 332. Rarely do you see such high shields as well. A nuclear launch. Multiple nukes. Oh, he has 2 ghost academies. But he's only firing off 1 nuke for now. Working on the defenses. Disruptor shot comes through, but the DT's again with the flank, and he doesn't notice. Oh, a huge shot of the ghosts. He gets the DT Disruptor wombo combo, but again, oh, like a plot device coming in. Zhaon gets another massive DT blink on the back line, and he gets away with them. This is like a campaign mission. The DT's just showing up and saving the day, / ruining it, depending on who you ask. The ghosts are taken out. Clem has so much money in the bank, but the one thing Terran doesn't have that Protoss does is something you can sink your gas into. There's no unit that costs like 150 for Terran. The closest you have, I guess, are ghosts and ravens, which both are pretty similar on gas. But without the minerals, you can't even spend it. So 3,800 gas right now is just burning a hole in his pocket as the DT slice through his planetary. He tries to repair, but it's too late. They get another one. And he recalls out before Clem can respond. What a game. Disruptor shot. He parks the Red Sea. The Liberator count is damn high. This is where storms could save the day, and storms are what he doesn't have. Another volley, the Venn diagram of freedom, liberating everything on the ground. The DTs from the back, they're in the squares. Somehow he's avoided the vast majority of the Liberators. DTs blinking on top of the army. The scan is helping out dramatically. The Liberators will be taken out, though, as the Stalkers blink back, but I feel like Clem may have done it. The Stalker is still blinking. The Disruptor with 1 HP hits nothing, and now will never hit again. Zhaon still with the economy. He still has mining bases. He still has probes, but I think Clem finally took the decisive engagement that might allow him to carry this through. What a Zhao has 68 to 114 army supply. Clem has a lot in medevacs, which is good right up until it is. Nuclear launch in the bottom left corner. Another Ruptor follows through. Reinforcements cut off. How many probes? Oh, the nukes. Will the nukes actually make the difference? I think another 9 probes gonna go down. 8 probes. Somehow one survived. Just barely out of range. Terrifying story. But Zhao's done such a good job of keeping Clem busy, hitting the moments that he's not looking the right way, or at least the right angle. The Blink Stalkers are moving in again. Archon's leading the charge. He's still got 4 Ruptors. Fires off a double barrel. Gonna get some of the Stalkers, but there's just so much bio on the ground. Another volley comes through. Connects at the front line, but Zhao again bleeding out supply. And his Disruptors are on cooldown. The bio comes back around. The Zealots tanking the damage for now. He's keeping the pressure on. And very importantly, Zhao still has the mining bases. The supply is really starting to get dramatic here, though. And by dramatic, I mean not good for our Protoss hero. No, not hero, but close to it feels like. Another DT sharking around. The Liberator's headed up towards that bottom left corner. Fires off a fadeaway shot. Softens up a Marauder. But the Disruptor will be dealt with in turn. That one Liberator. The advantage here is that Zhao has the mining base, but a Liberator will make sure that it is not maintained. Does he remember he has 6 Stargates? That Liberator making things very difficult. But oh, he blocks over. There are DTs in the mix, but the Liberators are popping the Ruptors, not getting enough damage. GG! Clem after 29 minutes and pretty much the entire tech tree. Almost, that might be every single Protoss unit. He didn't build an Oracle. Is that it? No Oracle, he did no High Templar here, but they were merged into Archons. What a game. Did he ever build a Prism? That's crazy. No Oracle and no Prism. So, Zhao clearly with his own original brand of Protoss, and it's almost enough. He got Clem to build battle cruisers, and then he wiped them out of the sky. But Clem held on. Zhao getting so close to taking it. But there's a reason Clem is the world champion. He doesn't get shaken easily, nor stirred. And that means we're going into game 2 on Whispers of Gold. This match from the Enki Pro Series. Enki Alexander on Twitch. Be awesome, especially if you speak Spanish, as he is a Spanish caster, to give him a follow. And he's the one putting on these amazing matches. And so far, they've been pretty incredible. So, also Hero versus Beyond from not long ago. A best of 9. I guess it has the potential to be terrible. But also gives a lot of leeway to players to bring out some original strategies. There's a chance you play every single map of the 9 maps in the pool. So that means you have to be prepared for almost anything. And both players coming today and starting it off strong. We'll see if that continues through. Zhao fooled him once, but I don't think Clem's gonna get fooled again. Part of the reason that they didn't rebuild after that stage is you no longer have the bank economy. The idea with the bank economy is to fill in units quickly to take advantage of any sort of victory on the field. When you have that huge fight with those armies you've been building up for so long, well then, you don't have time to rebuild them. If Clem builds Marines and Marauders while Zhao tries to rebuild carriers, he just loses at least a base or two. And probably the game soon after. Same thing for Clem, though. If he goes for the battle cruisers again, then the DTs come swiping through his planetaries and the zealots on the ground.
Serio?
So that is why we had that big build-up phase. And then the ground follow-up. And I think part of the reason that Zhao not going for Storm, some players really do know their limits. Is it good or bad? Obviously, Storm would have been helpful at certain moments. But it's another thing to control. If you get a great Storm off, but lose 5 or 6 more Stalkers because you're not focusing on them, is it worth it? Maybe. But another player that reminds me of is Gumiho. Gumiho, who almost has a religious exemption from building ghosts. He'll do it under heavy duress, but he's found so many ways, including against Protoss, to avoid building ghosts. Zhao reminds me of Gumiho right now, but with Protoss. Not building Warp Prism, not building Oracle, not building Storm, not all these stereotypes. These is what you're supposed to do to play Protoss. Okay, if you're not doing that, you're doing it wrong. Well, he's doing it well enough. We'll see if that continues. Once again, the map and the timing an exception, but Clem, a Reaper, he's building, what is this? He's building 2 Reapers and a Hellion, but he already built 4 Marines, which is backwards. We're gonna see Blink this time around, not surprising. What? You're supposed to build the Reaper Hellion and then you follow up with the Marines. Everyone knows that. Then again, I don't think anyone's going to tell Clem how to play. So... well, if you just show up and kill him, well then... oh my. Oh, this is... oh, wow. That's a lot of damage. The shield battery is about 7 seconds and 7 probes late. Well, it's an absolute unmitigated disaster. 8 probes, a whole bunch of mining time on top of it. He lost the depths as well, so it's not like there's a big counterattack potential. It's super obvious it's going to be Blink. Oh, it's a disaster. Well, Clem comes like, I've had enough of these no-rush 8-minute games. Just slaps him across the face with random barracks units and a couple Hellions. Well, he just got clemmed. Clemmed up. That's somehow worse. Save the Widow Mine. Blink is done. But Clem has a Blink with the medevac effectively. Walking up, just starting to right-click on probes. Jown realizing it. Wow. This is just disrespectful. Come on. He kills a Stalker and he gets out. There's not going to be enough damage to kill the medevac. He's out of here. This is not going well with the Korean Protoss. He's clearly got Blink Stalkers coming. While last game may have been a back and forth brawl, this is more one-sided than a Mobius strip here. If Clem unsieges at the wrong time and flies his Raven over the Blink Stalkers, then maybe we'll be about even. And also, I don't think... okay, the siege tank is barely in range. He's gonna get stim. So that is a medium-sized step. Stim being denied is very helpful. Not gonna change the trajectory of the game entirely, but it nudges it back towards him a little. As right now, the real threat is just the sheer power of the siege tank push. But every moment counts. And double bunker on the low ground, clearly taking this very seriously. He's gonna get the medevac, which it came all the way back home, got repaired, and then just dies anyways. Zhao so far doing a very good job of keeping Clem on his toes, and then still off balance anyways. Triple threats on the way. Stim combat shield +1 observer. Taken down as the Raven. Provides detection. Also important to note he didn't send the Raven out, but instead kept it at home to make sure he was locked down against exactly this, which is a bit of a win for Jean in just keeping Clem busy, but can he turn it around? At some point, Clem does need to come across the map, and that's when he's vulnerable to the Blink Stalkers. If he can kill off at least like a fifth of the army in that process while he's working his way across, there's a Colossus on the way. If he's able to get to 2 Colossi and extended thermal lamps, that's enough to potentially fight. Clem is now going to be moving out, though. Double medevac completing. He's got a 3rd command center landing. He's got more workers right now. Does he know about the 3rd? There's no way he would. He's just anticipating it, but there's no direct vision of the 3rd base. Very important to note. Jean has been able to get away with it. Clearly anticipating the warp prism drop in the main. He has Marines and a missile turret on the way, so Jean trying to come in, but he saw the missile turret and thought he might have a timing. But Clem covering his bases in the most literal sense. Meanwhile, the Marine, that's a bit awkward. It's a pylon. Looks like another Marine tried to make it across the map, did not succeed. Extended thermal lance is now done. Clem has sat back for quite a while, but he hasn't been slowed down at all. He's got 69 SCVs, a very nice economic setup, plenty of defenses in the main. He doesn't have to take any risks. Another observer is taken down. Auto turret secures the kill. Jean trying to play some active defense. Ideally, this is exactly what he needs. The siege tanks, not siege. Colossi, very awkward spot though. Siege tank volley slams into a Colossus. Still has plenty of energy on that Raven. He'll almost get sniped off. One of the Vikings is taken down. Jean trying to find an opportunity to jump the army, and he does so, but there's just too much. 50 supply gap. He's warping in another round. The siege tanks just pulled into the medevacs until they get into position. Jean forced to retreat from his 4th base. Seems like he's just going to give it up entirely. Disruptors on the way. Jean's disruptors, quite a thing. Oh, catches some of the reinforcements. More barracks, as well as another starport for Clem. A pretty cookie cutter composition when it comes to the infrastructure back at home, but if it ain't broke, there's no need to repair it, so... Meanwhile, he blunks forward. I'm so happy to actually get something, but clips the Marines, takes out a chunk. He's so willing to blink forward. If he gets lucky and picks off some tanks or medevacs, but again, he's just boxed in. The Dorito-dusted army looking very uncomfortable right now. Zealots found the planetary to the north side. And things slow down for a bit. But Clem is maxed out. He's got 2-2 on the way. Disruptors. Intel. The Widow Mines. Not quite able to connect. The Raven. Anti-armor missile comes through. Softens up the core of the army. But the disruptor count is high enough to be very dangerous. He's forcing Clem to split. Lands a couple ruptor hits. Another fadeaway shot. Almost gets a ghost. Comes up short. Another shot, but Clem is on the warpath now. Might be able to knock down that Colossus. Shield battery helps out a bit, but easily taken out by a single volley from that many Vikings. The bio army is just too big to fail right now. Without the disruptors, there's no way to break it up. Jown has put in a lot of solid effort in this game, but it's been an uphill battle from nearly the very start. Another blinks out of the way. Desperately transferring between fourth bases that Clem keeps playing whack-a-mole against. Another shot around the corner, though. Finds a connection. The disruptor's on cooldown. It's 2-2 Terran against just +1 attack, though. He needs the Ruptors to have any shot of dealing with this army. But so far, he's kept him at bay. The siege tanks are pulled up. Jown, it's almost a miracle he's made it this far. But Clem keeps getting caught a little off guard by how aggressive Jown is willing to be. No counterattack. Is there still a prism? It's still in the corner. Anti-armor missile. The Raven has survived throughout all this, or that's a new one. No, he's not going to rebuild a Raven. Let's not be crazy here. Disruptors. Siege tanks in range, but he gets a connect. Another one. A little off the mark, but now Clem found his way down to the low ground, and another fourth base will be taken out. The pylon depowered with the warp and intel. A single zealot counterattack, not even going to be able to stop the planetary to the north side. Jown is forced to abandon his nexus yet again. But he still has near 200 supply with disruptors, which means there is still a dream. Recalls the probes away. I don't know if Clem spotted that, but if he did, he knows he has an opportunity here. Another volley comes through, finds the center mass, but the disruptors are dangerously close. Full broadside, connects with the center. Is it enough to overrun the army? Auto turn on the back, gonna target down the tanks with the blink stalkers. Actually gets through it. Warp in helps out, and again, Jown survives. Clem is driven back. There are Vikings on the ground over here. What are you doing? They're having their own little get-together, but they abandoned the Terran army, and now a fourth and a fifth base on the way. He's willing to engage, and he comes out pretty close to a head, but another attack he dodges by jumping into the air. The Vikings doing a few push-ups, another disruptor hit, more reinforcements coming through. Clem's momentum waning slightly, but again, Jown is fighting into the middle of the field. The medevac count is so damn high. Another disruptor pop. Another couple flung out. The Zealots dodge them. 3-3 about to complete on the bio army. The Vikings still on the ground. Another disruptor shot comes through. He doesn't dodge it, but it's not enough to kill. He actually picked up a Viking in the medevacs. More army. It's too much. It's too much. Jown, why won't you die? Another shot comes out, but the disruptors wander into the fray. Immortal take it out. And will he finally fall? Clem continues piling the reinforcements, and he's got like 8 barracks back at home. He's building multiple starports of units at a time. Jown refuses to surrender. His upgrades are terrible. He's down. That's a 1, 2. I have to count. 4 upgrade advantage for Clem, if you don't count ship weapons. And considering he has Vikings on the ground and Liberators in the air, you probably should anyways. But Jown will not die. But there's a big difference between not losing and winning. And I don't like to be the commentator who calls GG early. But make no mistake, this has been advantage Clem for over 10 minutes straight. And Jown has been barely evading an untimely or very timely demise. But again, he forces 3 orbitals to lift. Clem going for something of a base trade. He's actually coming back to try to crush these few gateway units. Those Widow Mines are still there. They take another bite out of the army. Jown has not built upgrades. He has 5 disruptors, 13 zealots, 8 stalkers, and a desperate dream. Clem has like 12 orbital commands. He's got more than enough medevacs, so that disrupt just, oh my. GG. Clem finally overruns him, but wow. What a game. Again, Zhao holding on a lot longer by the skin of his non-existent Protoss teeth than I ever expected. But Clem finding the advantage and just walking up with whatever random, not so random, okay, but effectively random Terran units and slapping them across the face. But we're going to El Dorado. Another spicy map for more creative strategies. So we'll see what Zhao has cooking up for us. And that's what we're looking for. We know Clem's going to micro insert unit here incredibly well, get way more damage than he ever should, and possibly be ahead for the entire game. But even with that said, still always entertaining. But Zhao so far bringing a kind of an alternate brand of Protoss and keeping Clem busy. The fact that he is going toe-to-toe with him is quite impressive in and of itself. Let's not count him out yet. He's still got at least 3 more games. That's how math works. Thought I would have a clever follow-up to that, but that's it. That's how math, that's, count on it. 2 gases for sure. Before thinking about a Nexus. So that already indicates it. When you're going 1 gate expand, 90% of the time, you go 1 gas. So already indicating he's got something else planned. He's going to be getting the Cyber Core. He's got 2 in each gas, which is more efficient than having 3 in one and 1 in the other. That 3rd in gas doesn't mind quite as much. Always the odd man out on the job, though it rotates. But that is why you see players put 1 or 2 in gas instead of just 3 in one and 1 in the other, for example. Alright, he's gonna take the Nexus. He cancels the Zealot. I think the Zealot there in building. Because when you cancel a unit, you get all your money back. Unless it's finished, obviously. Then you get nothing back. But, he's building the Zealot right up until he wants to build the Nexus, just in case of an NG Bay block. I guess small chance of like a proxy Rex, but that's very unlikely. It's mostly to deal with an NG Bay block. But he cancels it right before he builds the Nexus to get the money back, because no longer is the NG Bay block really relevant. It's gonna be a Sentry first. Slaps an energy recharge for hallucination, and gonna try to keep a bead on what Clem is up to. Neither player really scouting early. The first scouts are coming out. There's the Reaper from Clem, and then the hallucinated Phoenix from Zhao. Stargate. And if there was a map beside Neon Violet Square. You shall not. And if there was a map beside Neon Violet Square. You shall not pass. The force field even keeps him in long enough. He cancels the Stargate and builds the Twilight. Ooh, intrigue. What? I have no idea what path Zhao is bringing us down this time, but it's definitely going to be something different. The Reaper spotted the Stargate. 100%. So, he's doing the classic bait and switch, and he killed the Reaper. So, no one cancels the Stargate when it's over halfway done, right? Well, no one until now. Now, will he fake like this is a real Phoenix? It wouldn't have been outdone. The hallucinated Phoenix is still not a surprising choice. It's just Blink and Robo, but honestly, Clem is building a Cyclone. I think that Zhao will be happy to see that. Because a Cyclone is pretty good against individual Stargate units, but not so good against a solid Blink Stalker timing, as it can be taken out quite easily. Clem, he's staring. He just looked at Zhao's base on his mini-map. We can see on the little mini-map cams there, which I always love. So he was checking to make sure he had this read right. And that Stargate on his vision was over halfway done. All right? I think he was just making sure that's what he interpreted. Because usually a Stargate unit would already showed up by now. He's gonna go for the double medevac drop. A good safe choice in most scenarios. Will the blink be enough to come? If he intercepts the medevacs, that could immediately translate to a victory. And even if he expects some sort of change-up, I don't think he's gonna expect this much of a curveball. All right? And it could be quite a throw. Warp prism in place. Oh, the timing. I don't know how much of this is luck and how much of it is timing, but Clem loads up the medevacs and is heading out at exactly the wrong time. Is he gonna spot it? No, he's in the dark. And it can very much... He's gonna be halfway across the map. The literal worst spot. The stalkers blink in. There's one Marine back at home. He's coming back. It's a disaster. He's been fully bamboozled. The drops, he hits one, knocks it out of the sky. The second one's gonna take a little longer, but the medevacs are dead. The warp prism, he locked on, but he's forced back, blunks over the top of the SCVs. And Zhao, I think he's done it. He hasn't killed him yet, but he's already done the damage. Wow, I'm calling things so early today. Oh, he comes back in for another round. He gets the Marauder, he gets the Marines, and there's just no follow-up here. Even though Clem can defend it, it's going to cost him everything. And then some. 11 SCVs, another Marauder coming up. The medevacs, the second round of medevacs are coming out. He's down to 36 SCVs. Gets another Marauder. Or another Stalker, but the damage is done. He can just keep warping in Stalkers. There's a fourth base on the way. No third command center out of Clem. He doesn't have the economic follow-up. And he doesn't have the economy right now. He just blunks in. Goodbye, medevac. Good follow-up. And he doesn't have the economy right now. He just blunks in. Goodbye, medevac. Goodbye, Marauder. Good night, SCVs. And good game, Zhao. Oh, I was really hoping for the GG right there. But there's no surviving this. He's coming in again. He's gonna take out the Marines. And there's just no sort of saving grace. There's no unit. GG. Zhao strikes back. It was a sneaky, beaky move, but it pays off. What a play. Beautifully done. And a complete and utter surprise for Clem. He got completely blindsided. And blink and you'll miss it. Sounds well-deserved game. Perfectly manipulating the information that Clem got and using it against him. What a series. I expected, like that first game, I expected something good. All right, Neon Violet Square, it's either terrible or amazing, and it got to the point of amazing. But the fact that we're continuing game 4, and every game has been great so far. Yes, game 2, Zhao took critical damage, but he fought it out for so long. A real underdog story. And it wasn't like delaying the GG. He had a legitimate chance against probably most players but Clem. I think he had a great chance of turning it around. Once he gets to Disruptors, the double Ds of destruction. I believe it was a Zhao game that was first coined by the most humble and modest caster, me. So, like and subscribe if you agree. And then dislike and subscribe if you disagree, so you can continue arguing with people in the comments. We call that engagement. I mean, support. Or unsupport. I don't know. Either way, thank you for being here. We're just getting started. Down. Another 2 gas. No scout for either side. He scouted for potential proxies. That's it. And then Clem didn't scout at all. He's building a Marine as well. Complete blindness. Honestly, after that last game, scouting may hurt more than help. What he scouted is what ended up screwing him in the end. The assumption of the Stargate. He was completely out of position. And Xiao took full advantage. Another sentry first. Gonna have that hallucinated Phoenix to scout the entirety of the Terran base. Clem now doing a little look around the perimeter. Gonna secure it with the Marine. Go out there and do something useful, Billy. Hallucinated Phoenix coming across the map. It's gonna be a Twilight. He spots. Will he see the hell? He spots the Hellion come out as well. No tech lab on the factory yet. It's gonna be a bunch of Marines, so he's got a very good beat on what he's dealing with. The scouting Hellion. I love the hallucinated Oracle. Ah, beautiful. So the hallucinated Oracle on the way. Now, does he believe it? And does it matter is another question. If he saw the energy, he is gonna burrow the Widow Mine in a very sneaky location, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. He can use that, drags it over the SCV, softening them up. Now Clem, he's already set an SCV on repair here, so making sure that they, you know, another hallucinated Oracle could actually kill these if he didn't do that. The most damage a hallucination could do. Well, technically, I don't know if it still works, but if you anti-armor missile your own units, then hallucination does damage. But I forget if that requires like a neural parasite. Florencio figured out, that's Florencio level gameplay though, so. Because anti-armor missile, I don't know if it still has the effect of just adding damage as opposed to actually reducing your armor, which usually have the same effect except on hallucinations, which do 0 damage. But, I digress. John with the blink. Hallucinated Phoenix spotted this. And he immediately... Wow, Clem actually playing quite scared. It's weird to see. But it kind of makes sense. Last time, he got caught completely off guard. It cost him the game. So this time... He spotted there's no third base. There's no reason to put your neck out there or it can get hacked in half. Or in any way, really, would be bad, I assume. Blink is done. Observer in place. Templar Archives. Templar Archives has begun. Widow Mine's in place to deal with this, but I'm pretty sure Xiao can see. No, not quite. That observer can't quite spot it. Third base just now on the way. Medevac drop headed out. 8 Marines is the total payload, and Storm begins for the first time in the series. Now, Widow Mine spotted, but this series has been all about incomplete information, really showing the poker game. There's stalkers out there, but picks off the mine, backs off immediately. I'm a little awkward here. Gonna spot the Spylon and be spotted in turn. A double medevac drop is loaded up. No observer in place to deal with this. Now, not gonna be able to kill off these Marines, though moving the stalkers in. Clem takes it out. The stalker's actually in place to deal with this. Will he actually try to fight? Blinks forward, spends an extra split cell, but on the other side! Oh, stop right there! knocks the medevac out of the sky, but does he have anything at the third base to defend? Psystorm done in 2 seconds. 1 second could actually, yes, a big storm immediately merges into an Archon and shuts down the drop. Zhaon again deflecting Clem, who does not have a third command center done. It's halfway completed at the natural, but that means Zhaon in a pretty good position economically, and he has the tech. Clem is not going to have any real answer to Storm besides just trying to outmaneuver it, which I'm sure he's capable of doing, but there's no direct response. And usually, the biggest weakness of going for Storm early is the vulnerability before it completes, or right after it does. When you just don't have enough units because you've invested all of your resources in Storm right off the bat. But Zhaon has already survived that phase of the game. He's already survived to get Storm and have more units on the ground. Though these Widow Mines hurt really badly. That was rough. So now he's got a real shot to use it as leverage moving forward. He forces Clem into the Ghost Academy. How many gateways? He's got 8 gates already done. That level of 3 base production that is desperately needed to keep up with the Terran. There's enough energy for Storm just barely at the third. 1 Storm is sometimes enough though. The upgrades are +1 weapons for Clem. Zhaon just started, so that's where he's lacking overall. That and the lack of a Robo Bay, which I imagine we're going to see momentarily. As eventually, once the Ghosts are on the field, the Storm and the Templar in general become significantly less reliable. Another hallucinated Phoenix, I believe, based on the sound, gets taken out. And another Widow Mine as well. He's got the Warp Prism with him. I love the variety of playstyles from Zhaon. We've seen completely no Warp Prism, no Storm at all, going to Warp Prism Storm with a good old-fashioned Blinkstalker game in there in between. A couple of them, actually. So now Robo Bay is on the way. But he's using the full Protoss here, as Clem works his way up the tech tree as well. Not like he's in a terrible spot at all. In fact, Clem is in a very dangerous position for Zhaon, as he's got more army supply. He's building Ghosts, and there are no Robo Bay units on the field yet. So, with the first Ghost coming out, the Storm, though, wards away the start of the counterattack. A single Marine at the front, but Zhaon also has Storms over on the left flank. I think he has 2 on that Templar. Almost. He needs a few more seconds for the second one. If he gets it, the Zealots, they charge in and are immediately taken out, but he has a second Storm and he softens it up. Meanwhile, fighting on the right flank. But that is enough. He shuts down one of the flanks and will take out the Widow Mines. The counterattack doing some damage. Zhaon has defended. Clem trying to pull him apart, but Zhaon puts the defense together. And now is going to have 4 bases to Clem, who just took a third. Colossi on the way. Concussive shells. But right now, Zhaon is hanging with the world champion. And, well, he's starting to give him enough rope. +2 weapons begins. Zhaon is nickel and dime these upgrades. He has a lot of gas in the bank, but he's struggling for minerals. More Templar warped in to try to balance that out a bit. There's a lot of Ghosts. He's got 5 of them, 3 of them with the main army. But he's protecting his Templar with the Warp Prism, which is fragile in its own right, but at least you can't get EMP'd inside. An energy recharge on one of the Templars, some cannons to make sure it doesn't get picked off too easily. He uses another Storm, but Clem still has a very dangerous army. Some more Storms available. Widow Mine connects. Juggling, the Warp Prism being targeted. He cannot lose that Prism. Another Storm softens up the Vikings. One time, get back here! Wow, that was a bit of a waste of a snipe, but there was a Blinkstalker at the Watchtower throughout all this. What's in the corner? A Liberator about to siege up. Anything to drag his attention away. The Immortals, pre-MP, the Storm, he has full energy. Another EMP comes through. But is there another Storm? Without it, this army will crumble. The Colossus is holding it down. The Archon helping out a lot. Looks like the Liberator was dealt with. Clem maintains a supply lead, but Zhaon chases it down with the Blinkstalkers. And he's trying to drop out, but he's pushed up against the ends of the earth. Down! There's nothing to stop this army. Clem coming in with the reinforcements. Another Templar is on the way across. The storm flank is devastating. Looks for the snipes. More splash damage coming in. And Zhao pulls together a defense at the last moment. There's a single Marauder, but everyone else dies. I can't believe he held that. It looked like Clem was doing Clem things. He beat back the main dangers of the army. He shut down the Templar. There was only one Archon and one Colossus left, but somehow Zhao finds the timing and the position and reaches a critical mass of Protoss, and he may be able to carry it through into another victory. Clem is on full defense, which is not where you want to be with less economy. That the EMP lands across every single Templar. Oh no. A couple storms here could have sealed the deal, but instead, he's forced into Archons, which are good, but not nearly as good as a couple key storms. The ghost count is at 5, Hot Templar at 3. Archons mixed in. 5 more gates on the way. Zhao really trying to lay it down here, but again, both players on defense have been incredible. Ground weapons level 2. Blinks out of the Widowmine. A lull in the action for a moment. Clem 2-1 against 2-1. The upgrade's dead even, though Clem is progressing up to +3. More EMPs on the front. A big counterattack of charge lots is set up outside the third base for Zhao, but Clem is stabilizing. That isn't the death sentence it is for most Protoss so far, especially with the Zealots able to charge into the third base. Half a dozen SCVs cut down and counting. 11 SCVs dead, and he's fighting the army while moving into position at the fourth base. The Templar, he knocks down his own medevac. What was that, Clem? A bit of a panic move, and the Ghost blunks forward. EMP swinging in, but they don't hit the Templar quite yet. He's able to back off. Colossi.
Łowić. Już mi się kurde nie chce. Ja ci pierdzielę. Ja. Nie wiem, czy ktoś jeszcze jest, ale ja spadam spać, więc no, narka, papa, do następnego streama, lolo, cześć, pa.